We at NHSA work really nonstop to find organizations that have the resources, are driven by the same passions that drive us. We engage with these organizations and work hand in hand with them to provide you with innovative resources, with cutting-edge expertise and cost-saving opportunities. Today we will hear about 3 such organizations, very important organizations. We will first hear from Billy Shore, the Executive Director of Share Our Strength, a national nonprofit that is actually ending childhood hunger in America. And he's also the chairman of Community Wealth Ventures. Billy will tell us how Share Our Strength and the National Head Start Association are entering into a partnership to reach 10,000 Head Start families with an innovative Cooking Matters at the Store initiative. So you want to be part of that. One of the most basic things that Head Start addresses for children is nutrition. We all recognize that without enough to eat, children can't be successful learners. And Billy Shore takes that basic need as his mission. He founded Share Our Strength in 1984 in response to the Ethiopian famine and subsequently renewed concern about hunger in the United States. During his career, Billy has worked on political campaigns and for members of Congress. He has written 4 books. They're fabulous. Most recently, The Imaginations of Unreasonable Men, and has served as a professor at New York University's Stern School of Business and Harvard University's Kennedy School of Government. In 2005, he was named one of America's best leaders by the US and World Report. And beyond all of his accolades, Billy has never stopped fighting, as we all do, for the needs of children. Please give Billy a warm Head Start welcome.
Yasmina, thank you so much, and thank you all for having me. Honored to be here, and particularly thrilled to be in a room of people who are such incredible champions and advocates for children, how we mentor, how we raise, how we bring up this generation that is our future. I recently got some very good, heard some very good advice in that regard from my own 8-year-old son. And I'm going to just leave aside for a moment the improbability of my having an 8-year-old son. But he was, my wife and I take him to school every day, and he goes to a school called the Shady Hill School. He's in 2nd grade. And on this day, just a week ago, he bumped into his cousin Audrey, who is a preschooler at the same school. They don't get to see each other very often, but when they bumped into each other, they started to talk. And so my wife Rosemary and I started to try to listen in on what they were saying. And at one point, Audrey looked a little distressed, and we saw Nate put his hand on her shoulder and lean in to say something to her. So we leaned in from behind to see what this great wisdom was from a 2nd grader to a preschooler. And we heard Nate say, "Listen, just enjoy the naps while they last." It's pretty good advice from a 2nd grader to a preschooler. There's the other good advice that I would suggest for those who are really committed to the idea of making a difference for kids is to partner with the National Head Start Association, and that's what we're here to talk about today. We are so excited at Share Our Strength that we're able to make a $100,000 grant to NHSA so that we can reach 10,000 parents, 10,000 Head Start parents, to make sure that they are part of, thank you, to make sure that they are part of our Cooking Matters in the Store program, one of our fastest growing programs, so critical to empowering moms with young families who make the critical and essential choices for their children about healthy diets and their resources. This is a program that reaches hundreds of communities, takes families into stores for cooking tours, learning about how to read the nutrition label, learning about unit price labeling, so that families and moms have the resources and the information they need to make healthy choices for their kids. 10,000 additional parents, Head Start parents, will be a huge boost to this program, and that's just, of course, the beginning. That's what we're going to do in 2013, and we're committed to growing this program in 2014 and 2015 beyond. We're so impressed and committed to your leadership. This Cooking Matters in the Store is a critical component of our No Kid Hungry strategy. As Yasmina mentioned, we are an organization that is committed to ending childhood hunger in this country. I believe that you play a critical role in that as well. And I say that because kids in this country are not hungry because we lack food. We enjoy it in abundance. They're not hungry because we lack food and nutrition programs. We have those as well. They're hungry because they lack access to those programs. And that's something that you can do something about. We've got 21 million kids in the United States who get a free school lunch. They're all eligible for breakfast. Only 11 million get it. It's bought and paid for all 21 million. The reason why? It's something that Secretary Duncan said, something Secretary Sebelius said. These children are not only vulnerable, they are voiceless. And the most important thing that we can do and that you can do in addition to being educators is to be that voice. We know these programs make a difference. We've just released a study from Deloitte that showed of the schools where we work, where kids get school breakfast, math scores are 17.5% higher, attendance rates are a day and a half longer. That correlates to higher graduation rates, to reading on grade level. So this is not Syria or Sudan or even something as complicated as sequestration. Solving poverty is complex, but feeding a child is not. We know how to do that. We need to be their voice to make sure that that happens. The great writer James Baldwin once said, "Remember, these are all our children, and we will profit by or pay for whatever they become." We have an opportunity to make sure that they become smart and healthy and kind and wise and competitive. We have an opportunity to make sure that they become that and that America becomes that. We can't be a strong America with weak kids. We can't be a healthy economy with unhealthy kids. We can't be prepared to compete in the 21st century globally if our kids are not prepared to learn. So, as inspired as I was by Secretary Duncan and Secretary Sebelius, we know that what they talked about is something that we aspire to, and until it happens, when it happens, but particularly until it happens, those children's futures are in your hands. So thank you for your commitment. Thank you for staying focused on this critical task for our country's future. And we're so excited about growing this partnership with Cooking Matters in the Store, hoping that the 10,000 parents, Head Start parents that will be getting involved this year are just the first wave of a much larger movement. Thank you.